Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be interviewing a very funny stand-up comedian. Her name is Kate Willett. I saw her a year ago, I believe at Rooster T. Feathers in Sunnyvale, and I hope she's the comedian I remember doing this. It was a bit about horror movies. And I thought she'd be, if it is her, I thought she'd be perfect to be on the show today. And she just got a Netflix special, which we're going to talk about on the show and everything. And I'm really happy for her and everything about that. And want to find out more about her, where she's from, you know, how she got her start in comedy, all that stuff. And I also want to say happy birthday to comedy legend Jeff Altman, one of the early greats of the Comedy Store in West Hollywood, a guy who had a failed variety show / sitcom called Pink Ladies and Jeff, I think it was called. And today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Jeff Altman. And so I'm waiting for Kate Willett to call me in just a few moments. Hi, Kate.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am awesome. I thank you so much for taking the time today. I know you're very busy and you got a lot of good things happening to you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think first time I remember seeing you was about a year ago. I think you were at Rooster T. Feathers, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think you did a bit about horror movies.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think I have a bit about horror movies, so maybe it was a riff or something.
Yeah, maybe it was a riff or something. I don't know. This show started out as strictly horror movie themed and stuff, and now it's expanded. So that's one of the reasons why I thought you would be a great guest, other than the fact that you got a Netflix special coming out.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So did you always know you were funny growing up?
No, I wasn't really, I was never the class clown or anything. I was always kind of a serious, nerdy kid.
Mm-hmm. Anybody in your family funny?
Yeah, my mom is pretty funny. I mean, I guess both of my parents are funny in their own way. It was definitely, joking around was always a big thing in our house, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch any stand-up or any kind of comedy when you were young?
Yeah, I was definitely really into Margot Cho, and I was really into Heisinger. I was into Caroline Ray, Denise Garofalo. I also really liked Robin Williams a lot.
Nice. Who were your major comedy influences, though? Was it them?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's changed. Over the time that I've been in comedy, I've learned about a lot of new comedians that I didn't know about when I was growing up. I mean, sometimes because some of those people probably weren't even performing yet. I would say right now, some of my favorite comedians are Maria Bamford is a huge favorite of mine. I really love her stuff. I mean, my comedy is nothing like Maria Bamford, but I really, really love and admire what she's doing. I was really into Margaret Cho, and I got to work with her, which was really awesome. She's definitely still a major influence of mine, absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, Maria Bamford, she's great with all those funny voices and those sounds she does.
Yeah, definitely. She's so funny.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed about her, every year, every special she makes, she just gets more and more versatile.
Yeah, she seems like someone who just constantly works on stand-up and is constantly trying to do something new and different and just try to be the most herself. And it's really cool to get to be familiar with her comedy over the years.
Yeah. Where are you originally from?
Originally, I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Mm-hmm. My birthday is exactly 1 week before yours.
Oh, wow.
I'm June 6th. Yep.
Cool, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, what year did you start doing stand-up?
I started a little bit in 2011. I was going to school in Chicago, and I did stand-up a couple times when I was out there, but I mostly really got started when I moved back to San Francisco in 2012.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So you started in Chicago, you said.
Kind of. I definitely consider San Francisco my home city because I only did stand up in Chicago like twice before I moved back to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Did you know a comic out there named Larry Reeb?
No, I don't. I don't really know like a ton of Chicago comics. I know some, but I never really did a lot of stand up out there.
Okay, yeah, he's a legend going back to the 70s, and I had him on the show a few months back and stuff. Great guy, really funny guy. He was
Awesome.
he was one of Rodney Dangerfield's young comedians that he had on the specials, and he's one of the ones who didn't get so lucky in terms of international success, but he's been a successful road comic his whole career, and which is amazing because he's like 60 now, and he's been able to sustain that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So you started 2011. I started 2006 in San Francisco, and I used to go to the Brainwash Cafe. Did you ever go there?
Oh yeah, that was my first open mic was at the Brainwash. Yeah, it was really really fun, and that was a really cool place for comics. I'm sad that it's gone.
Yeah, me too. I was there every Thursday for 2.5 years, and then after I quit comedy for a year. And when I went back to it, I decided I wasn't going to perform there ever again because I just got tired of the same old crowds, all the homeless people, all the crazy people that were there and stuff. I mean, the comics were great and everything, but I just got tired of the same vibe and everything, and I just decided to close that chapter of my comedy career. And then the comedy scene in San Mateo, where I'm from, started to open up there in San Jose and stuff. So I just focused on that side of the Bay for comedy. But those first 2 years, I learned an awful lot. That was like my comedy store, sort of, so to speak, you know?
Yeah, it was definitely a really cool place for comics to have around. Like, they had comedy there almost every night. It was definitely also a laundromat in the middle of Soma, but it was also a really cool place to do stand-up.
Yeah, a laundromat and a bar and grill, everything. That's it. It was San Francisco. It was Americana, that place.
Yeah, absolutely.
About 10 comics I came up with at that time are still doing comedy and are in LA right now, and there's a small percentage of them left over in San Francisco right now, but about 90% of them got out of comedy within like 2 or 3 years, and I was really sad because some of them were pretty good, and a couple of them I talked to ended up doing sketch and improv comedy instead.
Yeah, stand-up is very, it's very alone. It can be isolating. There's definitely, a really amazing community, but every once in a while I feel envious of people who do, sketch or improv or something really collaborative. It's definitely fun to work with other people, but I think to really do stand-up all the time, you have to have maybe kind of a loner personality in some ways. It's very individual.
Yep, that's me to a T, I have to say. Were you nervous the first time you ever went up on stage?
I had done a lot of theater before I did stand-up, so maybe in some ways I was a little overly confident in my ability because I spent a lot of time on stage, and I felt oh, this is the same thing. And after doing stand-up for a while, I realized I was really not. It's a really really different thing. personally am pretty comfortable with the idea of like even potentially embarrassing myself in front of people because like I had done all this like weird experimental theater where, you know, we're doing some like interpretive dance for no reason, reciting like 17th century text and, you know, just all this weird stuff. So I don't know. I had made peace with the idea of like public embarrassment before I even started stand up.
Wow. Yeah, I first time I went up at the Brainwash, there was 4 people in the room, including Tony, and I was not nervous at all. But then the second time, it was a full house, and I was scared shitless. But all that fear went away by the third time I did it, and I haven't been afraid since.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a weird thing when you're super young like that and you're just starting out. It's weird how, you know, your feelings can turn on you in like an instant and then go back to the way they were before. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, had you been writing your material at home before you started performing it?
Yeah, I definitely had like at least 5 or 6 minutes of jokes that I was like excited about it. I wanted to try. I don't think that those jokes are very good, for sure, but I was excited about them at that time.
Yeah, the first time I went up, I mean, my friend wanted to go up to the Brainwash to try comedy and stuff. And I said, "Are you crazy? It's spur of the moment. We got nothing to say." And he's like, "I'll buy us a notepad and we can write on the train." So we wrote on the train, and I did some material from a comedian I loved growing up named Bob Zaney, and I did his jokes, and then I did this bit that I wrote on the train about Tom Cruise marrying Katie Holmes and about how I was against it, and that didn't get a huge laugh. The Bob Zaney jokes did, but I knew right then and there that this is what I wanted to do, and I've been wanting to do it since I was a little kid and stuff. Did you have that feeling the first time?
I think, yeah, I definitely had always really liked stand-up. You know, when I was growing up, I used to watch a lot of Comedy Central, and I felt, I just felt like it was, I didn't know it was a thing that you could, like, start doing. I had no idea how people became comedians or anything. You know what, actually, I think that a big thing that kind of influenced me was when I was living in Chicago before I started stand-up, I started listening to the WTF podcast a lot, and I just heard a lot of, like, really successful comedians that I like talk about how they got started at stand-up, and it made me realize, like, oh, you can get started at stand-up, like, you can go to open mics, and, like, you know, like, not everyone is, like, good when they start, and I think it made it feel more accessible to me to listen to a lot of those interviews.
Mm-hmm. Are you really good at crowd work?
I would say the crowd work is not, like, a main strength of mine. I would for sure like to get better at it, but I kind of be pretty into writing, and, like, kind of do crowd work just if something weird happens that I have to address, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I definitely think interacting with people is really fun, and I love watching other comics do that, but it's not something that I've explored as much as I hope to in the future.
Yeah, it's a specialty of mine. I try to do as little of it as possible because I do all these shows where I have like a time limit, you know, these stupid amateur shows where I have like a time limit, and like I just don't have time. But then there's those rare nights where I have like 7 minutes or something, or 7 to 10 minutes, and I try to put in at least a minute of crowd work during the whole set, just so I can be a show off, you know? And if I see somebody who looks funny or something in the front row and stuff, you know, I gotta point it out or something, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super fun.
Like once I did a show at San Jose Improv, and I was just, oh my God, just knocking it out, killing with all my prepared stuff, right? And then I had about a minute to do some crowd work, and then another minute to do another bit and then get off stage. and there was these old people in the front row, and I said something like, what was it? Something about them that they look like out of town tourists who came from the old age home or something like that. They got a huge laugh and stuff.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I got to do that little moment. But yeah, I try not to do it as much though when I'm doing these shows that are where I only have like 5-6 minutes or something though. But if I have a little bit longer, then I squeeze in the crowd work and stuff.
Yeah, I completely get that.
Yeah. I try to be as vicious as possible when I do it. So when did you move to New York?
I moved to New York about a year and a half ago, in January 2017.
Did you get sick of the Bay Area scene like I did?
Well, I actually moved to LA before I moved to New York. I moved out of San Francisco at the end of 2015, but I moved to New York from LA. I love how much stand-up there is in New York. I love doing stand-up in the Bay. It was my favorite, but it just felt like it was time for a change.
Yeah, I just got tired of just these, bar hacks getting booked for shows and talking shit about the hardworking comics, and stuff, and just backstabbing and all that stuff. It was.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, it was a long time in the making, and then fortunately my mom needed help paying the rent over here in Reading. So I've been here for the last year, and then I got another 6 months left here, and then I'm going to move to LA after that. But
oh, that's awesome! Great luck with your move.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's not really any comedy down here. I mean, I come down to the Bay still every couple of months just to visit and stuff and do sets out there, which I'm going to do next week. I'm going to be down there for a whole week and stuff. But I just had to get away. It was just negative energy, And this podcast is like my only means for being funny all the time at the moment.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So obviously you like it down there in New York. I mean, where do you work out your stuff at? Do you go to the cellar?
I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't get the last thing.
So obviously you like it down there in New York. I mean, where do you go to work out material? Do you go to the cellar?
I actually have not performed at the cellar yet. I really hope to someday. I do a lot of shows in Brooklyn usually, but some in Manhattan as well. There's a really thriving comedy scene, both in comedy clubs and in Brooklyn. It's like in theaters and bars and stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't really believe in the distinction between like club comedy and alt comedy, but I would say that I do tend to do a lot of shows that probably people would consider alt. But I also perform at clubs pretty frequently as well.
Have you played Gotham?
Yeah, I have.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. No, I've never been to New York. I haven't played any of those places, but of course they're landmarks over there. And there's a lot of great comics in New York, like Michelle Wolf and Nikki Glazer.
Yeah, no, definitely. Those women are amazing.
Have you worked with them?
I have worked with Nikki at the High Plains Festival in Denver, and that was awesome. I never got to work with Michelle Wolf. Well, no, that's not true. I did a show with her, actually, I think, maybe a couple months ago, at a bar in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I actually watched Michelle's HBO special for the first time last night, and oh my God, she is just so adorable with that smile after every joke.
Yeah, well, she's amazing comedian. She's one of the best joke writers in comedy.
Yes, I agree with you on that and stuff. Have you ever worked with Jessica Curson?
I don't think so. I'll have to check out her stuff.
Yeah, she's hilarious. I've been trying to get her on the show for a while now. She wants to do it, but she's just super busy, and she's actually shooting a series for HBO right now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, she's very funny. She was on Last Comic Standing, I think about 10 years ago or something. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. In addition to doing stand-up, do you act?
Yeah, I mean, that's my background. I used to do a lot of theater stuff, and then I was just in this web series called Don't Call It Frisco, which was it was shot in San Francisco. I flew back for it, and it's really fun. There's season 2 is coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, I started acting too back in high school. Did some theater after high school and stuff, and did a little bit of improv, and just got in the stand. I didn't know where to go for stand up in the Bay Area because at that time the internet was just getting popular and there wasn't a whole lot of information yet, and thank God for my friend at the time. He told me about the Brainwash, and we just started going from there. But yeah, I'm trying to do the acting and stuff. I'm just networking, going to conventions and festivals and stuff, and trying to get parts and stuff. And it's tough, but I'm very passionate. I'm more passionate about acting and film more than anything, though.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and stuff. So you constantly go on auditions for stuff?
Sometimes. I wouldn't say constantly, but it's definitely something I'd like to do more. Like, definitely my main focus has been stand-up for a while, but yeah, I would definitely like to start doing more acting, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still got a pretty big acting scene in New York in terms of film and television, though. But it's a different world now. Where in Hollywood, unless you're like somebody like Pacino or De Niro, they're not going to fly you out to L.A. to audition, and be in a movie because they don't want to put up the money,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because they got a lot of filmmaking though out there in New York and stuff. But I'm sure you'll find something out there. How did you get this Netflix special?
Well, I don't really know if there's an easy answer to that. I think that doing stand-up for a long time, having a lot of different people familiar with my stuff, and I would say probably a many-year process of getting to know a lot of folks and working on with that.
It wasn't a matter of you doing a gig and then some guy came up to you after the show and said, "Hey, I'm with Netflix. I'd like to talk to you about doing a special for us."
No, I don't even know if that really happens anymore.
Wow, crazy. How long is the special?
It's 15 minutes. So the Netflix is this new thing called the comedy lineup, which is it is 15-minute special for up and coming comics. And they released season 1 of it back in July, and they're going to release part 2 of it on August 31st.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen those 15-minute specials yet. I'm afraid if I do see them, they're going to leave me wanting more, like I do when I watch the 30-minute ones. Every time I see these short specials, I want more. I want an hour,
Yeah. I think that it is to kind of, give people sort of an introduction to comedians that they might not have heard of yet. And I found it exactly right. It's sort of leaves people wanting more and more curious about exploring that person's work. And, I think sometimes it can be hard to commit to an entire stand-up special if you don't have an hour of time. But I know that as with Netflix, they want to make stuff that people can watch on their phone and, just kind of watch something really funny when you don't have that much time.
Yeah. I remember when Bill Hicks did his HBO One Night Stand in the early 90s, he was so on fire and so good. It was one of the few times where he didn't alienate the audience with his dark material. I think that if he had done an hour, maybe he would have towards the end get really dark and stuff, but that special is so good and so great, though. It really does leave you wanting more because it goes by so fast.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It seems now, though, a lot of comics in LA are getting Netflix specials, and no matter how long the show is and how long the person's been doing stand-up, it's like they're all getting specials out there.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I mean, there's many comics who don't have specials that are also amazing. Like, there's so many good comics right now. It is really, I think, kind of a renaissance for stand-up comedy right now. And, like, there's for sure people that you haven't seen on TV that are, like, doing amazing work.
Yeah. There's this weird, like, comedy resurgence that's happening now. That when I started in 06, comedy was just a dying art form. I still think it is in some ways, but now just so many people are coming out of the woodwork good. But what I mean by dying art form is that you can't shock anybody anymore. Like, you can't reach people on the level that Richard Pryor did and Lenny Bruce did and stuff, and Dave Chappelle is doing and stuff. It's like everything's been done in terms of being groundbreaking in stand-up. Would you agree?
I don't think I would agree with that. I think that there are still comedians that are doing really groundbreaking stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that, like, for a really long time, there were definitely, like, most comedians were white men. And, definitely, like, Richard Pryor, of course, is not, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people. And I think that, like, right now, when it's stand-up, people are really interested in, like, hearing from, a variety of perspectives, and it's really exciting. I mean, there's definitely been, like, comedians that aren't white guys for, like, a long time, and obviously, like, some of the greatest, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, but I think that you're seeing in stand-up now, like, more than ever before, people who are, like, just voices that are not, like, what we're used to comedy being, and it's incredibly exciting. Like, Hassan's special was amazing. Hassan's special was amazing. Reed Busher is one of my favorites. She's doing really cool stuff. The musical partner, Cameron Esposito, was awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I totally disagree with you that it's like everything's been done. Yeah, that doesn't feel true to me at all. I mean, I don't think that I would have had a career in comedy even 20 years ago. Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think that we'll see? I mean, do you think any of these comics will end up just being as groundbreaking and controversial as people like Pryor and all them?
I mean, I don't think that stuff being controversial is the measure of what is good comedy. I think that, I mean, it kind of, it's like with everything else that's going on in the country, like, there's, maybe 50% of people, like, really do not want society to move forward in any way, and, like, maybe another 50% of people are really excited about stuff changing, and
yeah.
So, I mean, this is like all these, like, right-wing people that are, like, super upset that Samantha Bee said the C word, about Ivanka, and yeah, I guess it's controversial to them, but, there's also, like, a lot of people that are, like, really excited about people like Samantha Bee. So I just don't know if we're living in a society anymore where, like, there's stuff is going to be, like, really controversial to everyone. I mean, I also don't agree that, like, stalking people is the measure of good comedy. It can be. Like, there can be stuff that's really shocking and boundary pushing that is amazing, but there can also be stuff like, I mean, I wouldn't say that, like, Maria Bamford is, like, she's not a shocking comedian, at least,
no.
But her stuff is amazing, and she's exploring issues that I think people haven't really previously talked about, mental illness, and that's amazing as well. So I don't think that people getting, like, really up in arms about something is even the measure of, like, whether something is really changing an art form.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, you can't shock anybody nowadays. It's just that's why I mean, like, you know, it's just like those days are done. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But to me, that's like not even the question that I would ask about stand-up comedy. Can you shock people? Like, you know, shocking people just for the sake of it is like it doesn't have very much value to me.
Mm-hmm. How far do you want to go in your career?
You know, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's a way to quantify it in those terms, but I definitely you know, I definitely want to keep doing stand-up for as many people as possible. I'd be interested in getting more into writing and acting, possibly making a really cool show one day. Yeah, I have all kinds of dreams, but I'm also really happy right now. So, you know, I like stuff continuing to move forward, but I also feel like really content and excited about the process. And I love being a comic in New York. I love hanging out a lot with other comedians. There's just like a ton of funny people here, and that's really, really neat.
Do you see yourself going back to LA if you get a sitcom deal? If the sitcom deal gets a resurgence?
Yeah, I would definitely be willing to go back to LA for sure. I like living out here, but yeah, I'd absolutely be willing to go back to LA for the right opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a new thing now. It seems like in comedy, it's probably always been this way, but it's been relatively new to me. If you say you want to be famous, nobody wants to have anything to do with you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know a lot of people here who are getting famous, and like cool people, and great people, you know, that are like, I feel like I just watched my friend Condom Wadala do a really amazing set on Colbert and Katie Hannigan, and, you know, there's a lot of people that are succeeding, and I don't know, to me it feels like a very, very cool time.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite joke of all time?
My own or someone else's?
Either.
Oh, man. Okay, Miss Hedberg joke that makes me really... There's a few Miss Hedberg jokes that are probably my favorite, and, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to misquote Miss Hedberg, but, like, to me, his joke about, like, I don't have a girlfriend, but there's a woman who'd be really mad if she heard me say that. For some reason, that just hits me so hard. It's such good writing, and a lot of his jokes, you know, I used to do drugs, I still do, but I used to too. Like, just his joke writing is just, like, unbelievable. And, yeah, it's so sad that he passed away early, and he just was an amazingly funny comedian, and probably has written some of the jokes that make me laugh the hardest of all time.
Yeah, oh God, he was great. I got a receipt for the donut. You know, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that one. You know, I love the one about the koala bears in his apartment.
Oh, I don't know if I remember that one, but I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Or the one about the rock concert, and like the lead singer yells, "Do you want to rock?" And everybody but me yelled, "Yeah!" And I was like, "What's the other half of that question?" I like that one. That's a favorite of mine. But my favorite joke of all time is this one Eddie Murphy told on his Delirious special to a couple 13-year-olds in the front row. He said, a bear and a rabbit are taking a shit in the woods. The bear says to the rabbit, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" The rabbit says no, so the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit.
Oh.
That's my favorite joke of all time. And I have so many others. Oh my God. My favorite street joke of all time. What's a redneck do for Halloween? Pumpkin.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that.
What?
Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't catch that one.
I said, what does a redneck do for Halloween? Pumpkin.
I don't know if I get that, honestly. But oh well. Yeah.
a pumpkin at Halloween, right? Pumpkin means, yeah, he's pumping his kin, his family member. He's a redneck.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. That's like a joke for the older crowd. Well, Kate, I'll be watching for your Netflix special. When does it come out again?
August 31st, the comedy lineup.
August 31st. Perfect. Well, I hope it leads to huge things for you, and I thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, and don't work too hard.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Kate Willett. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Kate. You're a very nice girl, and I know you're going to go far with that special, and I hope it leads to a half hour or even an hour. An hour would be better, because like I said, those short ones, they just leave you wanting more. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.